Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your November the 17th just for today in a meditation. I hope you're doing well out there this morning. I'm grateful to be here, grateful to be anywhere, as a matter of fact. Okay, November 17th, walking through the pain. We never have to use again, no matter how we feel. All feelings will eventually pass. That comes from the basic text, page 82. It hurts like never before. You get out of bed after a sleepless night, talk to God, and still don't feel any better. It will pass, a little voice tells you. When, you wonder, as you pace and mutter and get on with your day. You sob in your car and turn the radio all the way up, rather, so you can't hear your own thoughts. But you go straight to work and don't even think about using drugs. Your insides feel as though they have been torched. Just when the pain becomes unbearable, you go numb and silent. You go to a meeting and wish you were as happy as other members seem to be, but you don't relapse. You cry some more and call your sponsor. You drive to a friend's house and don't even notice the beautiful scenery because your inner landscape is so bleak. You may not feel any better after visiting your friend, but at least you didn't visit the connection instead. You listen to a fifth step, you share at a meeting, you look at the calendar and realize you've gotten through another day clean. Then one day you wake up, look outside, and realize it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, the sky is blue. You take a deep breath, smile again, and know that it really does pass. Just for today, no matter how I feel today, I'll go on with my recovery. Take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please, and thank you. Walking through the pain. So we're talking about feelings eventually passing. And, this last sentence here, right here, the one day you wake up part, you know that it really does pass, right? That is more of a profound statement than I think people realize. The knowing part, the knowing that it will pass. The way that I've come to know that feelings pass is because they all pass. In order for me to know that they all passed, I had to be in a position where I was able to acknowledge what it was to begin with, right? Anxiety, depression, sadness, loneliness, disappointment, remorsefulness, shame, guilt. I had to know what it was. I didn't have to know precisely. I knew what I was feeling, how it felt to me, right? I wasn't always able to label it. And certainly if it was depression, I was reserved, right? Reluctant to label anything I was passing through with something so general. Okay, now I'm depressed, but why? I'm depressed because I work very hard and I don't have any signs of a savings, right? That discouraged me, right? So I would be able to identify why I'm feeling what I'm feeling. But the point here is that it took me being able to do that so that when it did pass and it lifted, I understand the difference between being under a feeling and having conquered one, right? Having waited it out without taking any horrible actions that I would also live to regret. Picking up drugs is one of them. Making that wrong phone call to that wrong individual for sexual encounter is one of them. Going into the store and taking something that doesn't belong to me, which is not my story, but it definitely could be. Don't think I have never had the thought, would be the wrong action. Can you imagine struggling with my pop's death from lung cancer at a very young age in my mind, 67 years old? And because I could not allow myself to pass through the pain of losing him, even though the death was in a sense welcomed, right? Because we knew that when he died, the suffering, that constant suffering would be done. Okay, so it was sort of welcomed in his case, a relief for him and for those that loved him, right? That he didn't have to suffer another day past what he did. Can you imagine now that I would go, my mother maybe go pick up some, more coffee and creamer because people are going to be coming through here and there's no more coffee. Your dad drank all that up when he was alive, right? Go get some more coffee and creamer. And I run to the store and go get some coffee and creamer. But I decide on my way out to grab one of the watches I see. I don't even need a watch. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being caught trying to steal something that I didn't even need? I can't imagine it. At a time that my family would need me. So instead of returning home with coffee and creamer, I would be walking out of the store with handcuffs. No, I don't see that, right? I would rather endure and get through to the other side so that I can say, as it says at the end of this, know that it really does pass. Because when I know that, that means that I have had other experiences that have shown me that those feelings do pass. And now I can use those experiences to bolster up my ability to pass through the next thing, whatever it is that I'm going through. Excuse me, whatever it is that I'm going through. So that's important to me. I was driving home the other day and I thought to myself, how many of us recovering people, I just wonder, how many of us recovering people dismiss the importance of something as small as staying clean for even an hour, right? For even an hour, for 1 minute, for one day. How many of us actually discount the importance of that? A lot of people go back out because they don't understand the miracle of what had just taken place, of them being able to stay clean for any amount of time, was nothing short of a miracle. Do you know how difficult it is to break a bad habit? It's not easy to break a bad habit. So if you have a bad habit of using drugs and you stop for one day, that in and of itself is huge. Something that you've always been used to doing, you all of a sudden don't do it for one day, and you were used to doing it all of the time, any time of the day, every day, and now all of a sudden you don't do it for one day. Do you know how physiologically how much resistance your body is going to give you? So, and mentally, right? So for you to be able to stop for one day, that in of itself is huge. And if I value even that day, that time, that amount of clean time that I've got, and I give it more power, more influence over all of the other days. So if I use for 10 years and I get a day clean, the fact that I got one day clean is huge. It's miraculous. The probability of me being able to do that after having 10 years of consistent daily using is slim to none. So for me to get a day, that means that that 24 hours is greater spiritually. Okay. I'm talking about spiritually. It's greater than all of the 10 years of using together because it was next to impossible that I would even get a day. Now, when I view that one day at a time, I view that one day as being more weighty, more powerful, more influential over the course of the rest of my life than all of those 10 years. I won't just give it away. I won't just toss it away because a feeling hit me. I will know that that feeling will pass. That feeling to use will pass. It will pass. And I'm going to hold on to the beautiful miracle of recovery that I have, the opportunity to recover. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you have a beautiful day on purpose.